Chart of the Week with Redmayne Bentley.
Listening to financialradio.co.uk, my name's Giles Wentwell and chatting to Bill Rook from Redmayne Bentley. Bill, thanks for joining us again today. We're going to be looking at sterling versus the euro to begin with. Just chat us through what's going on, because it's been a bad old time for sterling, hasn't it?
Yeah, recently the whole thing is bad. I mean, right from the top indicator on the sterling euro chart suggests that the whole don't be in sterling. It says, and this is the net effect of being not in there. A drop from 150 odd to 110 in a couple of years. So it's sort of a huge morning for sterling. But the overall trend at the moment is different as it stands at the moment, because it's down but trying to rally, trying to recover, suggesting that it's trying to come back to revert to mean, coming back to the 120 level, where the 200-day moving average is around about 122.23 level. So that's in the background, but at the moment it's sort of it's recovered from a sharp fall and picking up. But is it going to be sustainable? We don't know. The smiley faces on the charts are 10% stop levels after you've been going short, and the orange ones are 180-day lows. So they don't always work, but they've been spectacular. Like the 20th of October 07, when we went short at 142. The orange, depicted by the vertical line on the left-hand side, and then the smiley face where the vertical line comes in on the right-hand side. Well, that's what we're getting out of about 127. So 10% gain in that sort of in that time, which if with the right product, magnified enormously in potential gains there. But since then, there haven't been fantastic trading opportunities. Not really. A couple of black arrows on there suggesting that we could possibly go long, speculatively long, because the trend is still down, and you would have to been stopped out of those. And indeed, the second arrow looking in on the from the left there would be the one that succeeded. Now that's a successful trade, but only up to a point that another smiley face comes in after the sharp drop, after the sell-off. It rallies, so you'll be stopped out of that with not much of a gain. But if you were longer term and held on there, you'd have done quite well. And this is this balance between going short: is do you take the impact trade of making a crust and then getting out, or holding on, hoping that the trend is going to continue, which is one of the trader's dilemma. Do you take that early trade and make or do you hold on in there? And that's very difficult to answer.
And what's the outlook now? I know it's a difficult question.
Volatile between a trading range between 113 and 103. So it's sort of very, very it's choppy. A direction that's probably on the downside more than the upside. It could go either way. It's tricky because it's just failed on a downside signal. So does that mean to say the next downside is going to work? On this particular system, you don't get a signal until it goes to about 102, 103, or will the upside work? And then we don't know until it goes to about 120. So you're in a bit of a limbo here. And this is one of the problems of trading these sort of things. Is spectacular gains on the drops, on the initial drop, and then a rally. What do you do after that? And it becomes and this is where most traders lose the money, is when they try and re-enter a situation thinking that the impact is going to be still the same, whereas it might not be for a while, and it's better to look for something else which is about to break down or break up according to your trading rules.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, Bill, now we're going to move to the FTSE 100.
Yep.
I know you've had quite a bit of success trading this from the bottoms that were reached in sort of October, November time.
Yes.
Are we still well into the uptrend that has existed since then, or is that breaking down? Where do you see it going from here?
Well, this chart shows a couple of things. It shows that we're entering a phase that we could be looking for a bounce. Why do I say that? Because it's bounced 3-4 times already when it's hit those thresholds, and those are what those vertical lines say. What we're looking for at the moment is where is for 42.68 to be held, but that's the green line. That's the longer term green line, and we've challenged it in November. We're above it now, so mildly more bullish. We've been overbought. We were overbought at 4,600. We just told you last week that things were looking a bit toppy last week. We don't know when things are overbought how far they come back. This, we hope it holds. When things come back, we hope it doesn't just sort of randomly drop very fast. We've seen, I know VIX has got a bit worse than it has been recently, so it's above 40 again. So things are a bit more volatile than they were recently. So volatility creeping in. We're looking for some support lines today. I'd say 42.68 is the first one after we've broken the 43.82. It looks like we've broken 43.82 today, which will be the red line breaking, which is the 20 days. So the 20 days breaking, not the end of the world. A trend line which is drawn up from the bottom there is also being challenged. So, yeah, I mean, we're having some short-term support broken, but is this the end of the world? I don't know. And I'm looking possibly now for another opportunity to go long on the market as and when we get this sort of flip over on the RSIF2, less than 10 perhaps in this case. The last two occasions have worked very well, yielding over 10% in a very short period of time, which if used with the right product, you can get about 60% out of those moves. So there are exciting times ahead, with lots of volatility, a bit more volatility creeping in, and this RSI of 2 going through 10, is it going to hold, is it going to bounce up? As soon as that starts turning up through 10 from below, then I'll be looking to go long on the market for the next short-term trade.
Bill Rook from Redmayne Bentley, thank you very much for chatting to us today, and we'll chat again next week.
Thanks, Charles.
Chart of the Week with Redmayne Bentley.